Hello, crypto traders, crypto investors. Today we're gonna talk about Bitcoin, but before we talk about Bitcoin, I want to show you this cool video. And it's actually, I'm gonna explain why I'm showing you this video later, because it actually applies to Bitcoin. But you'll understand. Just look at this. In this case, the dog is the Bitcoin, and this guy is leverage. Okay, so this is the point I was explaining the other. Yeah, this is the leverage, and this is a Bitcoin. But the most important part is the part when it's falling down, right? Okay, so why was I showing you this, guys? Basically, I was talking about this. It was in Slovenian video. 2 days. No, what was it? Actually, at the point when we were bouncing off here, and I was explaining in Slovenian video, and I also mentioned it then in English video as well. I mentioned that this bounce is probably just the bounce, and the reason behind that is, Bitcoin tried to jump up, but it was due to the fact that it was leveraged. And now then I explained what leverage means, but it basically means that if I show you the chart here, these are the longs and these are the short positions. And they were never as high as they are at the moment. Like this is the highest, this is a daily chart, this is a daily chart. So that means that that run up was basically because existing traders opened leveraged positions, not because new players would come in and open positions. So it was almost like a pump. It was not sustainable because we needed new money to come in to have a real bounce. And yeah, I was talking about this here, and now we see this happening. So I just wanted to show you like a cool version of it, how that guy actually, when he pushes the dog out, this is kind of like leverage because it's over leveraged. Okay, probably this dog could jump high, and like probably Bitcoin could bounce here anyhow, even without leverage. But because of the leverage, it had a bigger bounce that it would without it. Because with leverage, you can open bigger position. For instance, on Bitfinex, you can use 3.3 multiplier. So if you have $1,000, you can actually open position worth $3,300, and that created that bounce. So okay, that was what happened. So what now? When it comes to the news, okay, Lightning is progressing, which is great. We had a Verge hack, which, okay, doesn't have too much to do with Bitcoin. So, like, okay, you had some other news about empty GOX and stuff like that, but nothing that would really concern the price that much, at least in my point of view. So let's just look at the charts. Let's look at the charts, what they're telling us after this unsuccessful jump up here. Okay, so we're kind of approaching the previous swing low here, and 50 MA here went flat, and now it's angling down again, which indicates that trend is down. Stochastic is down, K and D here. These two indicators are down. Volume is going down, which is quite normal actually. After you have a bounce, it's totally normal to see that. So here with MACD, we can't really see too much. Okay, it's kind of like, okay, actually it would have to, it's kind of like an equal bottom. Okay, between these two, which kind of indicates that the downward momentum is going out a little bit, because we have a about double bottom, but the price is going lower. So here, right, the price is going lower, but the momentum is kind of flat, actually a little bit divergent. So it is indicating that downward momentum is going out a little bit, but we have to go closer. Let's go to the 8-hourly chart. So yeah, you see here I have 9th wave reversal written there. So yeah, I'm actually looking at going long because this is a trend reversal, right? Because in the average we have 5 waves, and when we have more than 5 waves, this is when the odds are in our favor that that reversal might come, right? So because if we put these waves, and these are not Elliott waves, I say this every time, and I'll say it again. I'm using stochastic whenever it crosses 45 or 55. I count this as a wave, and it needs to be lower than the previous one. So this is definitely a wave. This is fifth, and then there's just no option to do this. But it's then you would have this would be actually seventh wave. So if we go here, that would be ninth wave. Okay, there's just no way for me to do that, unfortunately, to have 9 waves. TradingView does not allow me to do that. So yeah, but you get the point. Here is the seventh wave, and then if we go lower, then this will be a ninth, possible ninth wave. So if we have a ninth wave and momentum here on MACD is kind of dying out, the downward momentum, and we also having cross of K and D, this kind of indicates that it wants to turn around. So I'm kind of looking at this, but we also need a strong support. So I'm looking at previous bottoms, and I also have a line down, 2 lines actually, that go way back here. And I got this actually from this line. This, because first it was a resistance, and then it bounced off here. And of course, this is all an area. So, and I have like this resistance, and it's so the whole area. I'm looking at this area, and this also later on was where we had our bottom. So I'm actually expecting to have another bounce here in this zone, because of all the facts that I just told you about. Like, I'm expecting to see a little bit of bounce in this area because of momentum is going out, downward momentum is going out on MACD, because we have a strong support there, and there's not really another big news that would affect like the downward momentum to increase. So that's my point of view, and we can go lower as well. We can see this unsuccessful jump. I mean, the jump of the dog was successful because he jumped high and caught that, I don't know what, that toy. But in the end, he crashed back down here. So, okay, if we do bounce here, what is the case then? What do we look at? Of course, it depends how this all reacts. But definitely I would look at this area, previous high, swing high, as a support, and in this one. But let's wait to see what happens. Let's first look if the bounce happens here. I'm not thinking that this would be a bounce that would turn the whole thing around. Just a similar bounce to this, maybe a little bit stronger, maybe something similar to this situation here. Because okay, we had this bounce, but then what we okay, that's actually an interesting point. Okay, this kind of like looks similar as well. When we have this divergent, this is, you see here divergence as well. This is how I predict when we're gonna have a bounce. You can see that it worked here because divergence was going out, MACD was going out, so the downward momentum was going out. You could see this happening here. You could see, so almost every time that we have a reversal, this happens, and you can see it. Like, it's so obvious, right? You can see it here, 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 here. Every time we have a change of direction, almost. Okay, here it was trickier because the price also went higher and the momentum went higher, so it was not as divergent, it was convergent. So this one was trickier, that's for sure, to predict that it's gonna bounce as it did. So it doesn't work every single time, but it does work considerable amount of time, and also for the tops it worked. If you look here, this is the whole magic how I'm predicting. Of course, there's more to it, but this is the main thing that I'm looking at. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 times that it worked just in the last what is that, in the 1 month, and it was quite spot on. So yeah, we have a possible similar situation now. If you see this, it is divergent. Of course, we could have like a big red candle now, and then you can just can't do much about it. But I'm definitely looking at this as a zone when everything could, not everything, but when this could reverse to at least about this zone here, right? Okay, that was my technical analysis for the day for Bitcoin. Like, share, subscribe, and have yourself an amazing, amazing day. All the best.